Okay, so more militancy or less after this very sad experience in Marawi. May mga news reports which we will show you about young people, maybe kids who looked up to the terrorists. Displaced kids view Marawi terrorists as heroes, maybe for a while. Is it still true? Of course, you know, this destruction also, on the other hand, incites the kids to fight terror. So anti-terrorist sila. I think the children is essential in talking about the future of Marawi, whether it will be radicalized or it will normalize and become, I think the name of Islam is peace.
Peace, salam.
And so what is your view? You told me that it depends a lot on what the government will do. Correct. And is it safe to say that the government is taking the right step? I think during the siege, the military also was projecting a good image of patience and tolerance, if I can use the word, and waiting for the last minute to use the drastic measures such as bombing and so on.
Well, you are right. It depends on how the government will handle the situation. But we, in the private sector, is trying to help the government in suggesting ways to handle the problem. In fact, we have these psychosocial interventions. And then not only that, we do not limit it there. There is also this, we do not limit it to physical reconstruction. We are also focusing on the spiritual rehabilitation. We have invited the leaders of our religious sector, ulama. Ulama, by the way, is the plural of alim.
Right. Again?
The plural of alim. Ulama.
Okay,
so, the ulama. So we had invited them, and then we have dialogue with them to help, to explain to the people that the ISIS ideology is foreign to Islam. It's not Islam, and it is anti-Islamic. Para malaman ng mga tao na, uy, hindi pagkasumama pala tayo dyan, hindi totoong pag namatay tayo makakapag-asawa tayo ng 72 virgins. Pag namatay pala tayo, didiretso tayo sa impyerno. Pag sumama tayo dyan. And that is not Islam. So, fortunately, salamat sa kanila because they are more than willing to do it. Kasi, yung mga ulama natin who really practices the correct and true sense of Islam, nababahala na rin sila. So talagang gusto nilang tumulong talaga dito. So that is one way. Second, the Marawi catastrophe is unlike Yolanda. Ito kasi may awayan Oo. Sa Yolanda, kahit na may konting rumor na may mga kalokohan, may mga konting graft and corruption o ganyan, walang masyadong nagreklamo. But in Marawi, remember, yung bahay nila nawala.
Oo nga,
Oo, dahil hindi natural calamity. Yung their jewelries, their monies, their belongings.
And those things happen talaga.
Those things happen in war. Pag hindi maganda ang approach ng government, pag hindi maganda ang gagawin ng gobyerno.
Nagsusulsol.
Oo, may mga nagsusulsol pa.
Correct. Kung sino-sino.
Correct.
Nagagatong pa.
And the ISIS survivors are not keeping quiet. Talagang tuloy-tuloy pa rin sila. Although namatay mga leaders sila, but the vacuum will not last long. Magkakaroon din yan ng leadership. So, yun. Those are the factors that we are trying to combat. Mawala yun. So, first of all, we have to implement the rehabilitation and the reconstruction of Marawi as honestly as we can. As transparent as we can. Para makita ng mga tao. That is why we suggested to the government, to the task force, to create a committee that will monitor the implementation of the project and will also act as the auditors and then report directly to the President kung may mga kalokohan yan na may dyan.
And ikaw babantay sa kalokohan? Kaya magre-report ka rito sa programa natin. Every so often.
No problem. I can do that. So, ganyan. Pag hindi nangyari yun, baka may lumabas na bagong grupo na hindi ISIS, na hindi naman ganon, na who would like to ventilate yung frustrations nila, yung walang ginawang gobyerno sa atin. So maghahanap sila ngayon ng grupo kung saan sila makakasilong. Pag nakita nila yung grupo ng ISIS, di mas lalaki yung ISIS. So yung militancy na sinasabi mo, hindi mawawala tuloy-tuloy. Pero pagka maganda naman, ang pagpapatupad ng rehabilitation at saka reconstruction, mamamatay na yung ideology ng mga ISIS together with the campaign of our ulama, Muslim religious leaders, explaining to the community na mali ang ginagawa nila.
Okay, so one of the ideas over the past years I get from reading these situations all over the world about Islamic radicalism is Wahhabism, you know? Yung ba talaga naging isang bagay na totoo dyan sa culture sa Marawi through the madrasas? We discussed this once before, but do you confirm that this was a component of the problem? And what do you think? I mean,
well, that is coming from other. In Islam, there are so many school of thoughts. Not only that, there are so many learning centers. You have Al-Azhar University in Egypt, in Saudi Arabia, in Kuwait, in Qatar, in Pakistan, in so many. So
but these are centers, pero yung madrasas is spread all over the world.
Yes, there are many madrasas in Lanao. Alone,
yung maraming madrasas na yan, iba-ibang center ba yan?
Yes, I'm going to that direction.
Okay.
So I asked the president of the Ulama Council in Marawi, a Sharia judge, Judge Abu Ali, yung bang curriculum na itinuturo sa Al-Azhar, sa Kuwait, sa Saudi Arabia, sa mga estudyante, sa mga nagtatapos doon. Pare-pareho ba? Sabi, hindi magkakapareho. So sabi ko, yung mga madrasa natin sa Lanao, magkakaiba rin ang itinuturo. Sabi niya, oo. So I asked him, sabi ko, can you not hold a conference among yourselves to have one curriculum for all madrasas in Lanao del Sur para hindi nagkakagulo? Oo. And then sabi ko sa kanila, in fact, nagalit pa nga sa akin yung isa dahil ang accusation ng iba, it's not coming from me. Ang minarinig ako nagsabi na yung some of the members of the ISIS were students coming from the madrasa.
Oo nga. Confirmed or not?
We still have to validate that. So nagalit siya sa amin. Sabi ko, Alim, huwag ka nang magalit. You are in good company. Sabi niya, bakit? If other people accuses the madrasas of being the ground,
the nest
for ISIS, or breeding ground for ISIS, you're in good company. Sabi niya, why? Well, UP is the breeding ground for the leftists, the activists. And PMA is the breeding ground for mga nakukudita, kuplatters. So, you're in good company, sabi ko sa kanya. So, if they want to close the madrasas because some of the ISIS are coming from the madrasas, then they might as well close PMA and UP. So, that is what we are trying to do something about it. Para we will monitor the activities of all the madrasas, madaris, and we will check their curriculum. All the donations coming from other countries, especially in the Middle East, going into the madrasas will be monitored.
Before it was not done?
Wala.
Oh, that's right. So that's a good development. Because I mentioned that in our interviews and discussions before. In other countries, talagang regulated ang mga madrasas.
Ganyan. I've been in Kuwait, and every Friday, merong sermon. In Kuwait, yung sermon nila, before that, binibigyan na ng kung ano.
May agenda.
May agenda na. Lahat ng mosque sa Kuwait. Ito ang isi-sermon nyo in this particular Friday. In the Philippines, libre. Kahit na anong sabihin ng mga nagsisermon sa amin. And I think we have to do something about that. We have also to regulate it.
Dito naman yung Catholic Church, kung may kinakalaban na issue, that's when they give against the government, no? So, so that's good news, no? And this experience gives the opportunity for you to extend a guiding hand dito sa mga madrasas.
Yes, yes.
Review the
And they are very
curriculum.
cooperative.
Good, that's good news. Given all this, mukhang there will be less militancy in the future, but
Hopefully.
still economics, no? Yung poverty still has to be tackled.
We have to address that. Seriously, we have to address that seriously.
And you mentioned the different projects that you are preparing
Yes.
in that direction.
In fact, the Department of Trade and Industry is extending loans to municipalities around the lake. 50 businessmen who have business permits. Kasi that's the only way you can determine na talagang legitimate businessman sila. Di ba? Pero silang business permit, registered sila sa municipal hall. Now, according to them, I was there when they brief the local government executives. Every businessman, they will extend 50,000 as a startup capital. Yung mga small scale lang. In every municipality in Lanao del Sur. So, 50 businessmen times 50,000, that's about 2.5 million for 50 people. For 50 people.
Maraming OFW ba galing Marawi? May support sila from the outside naman,
definitely. Marami. Dami-daming OFWs from Marawi.
So, yung mga maliliit na business, grocery, siguro pwedeng itayo.
Hardware, groceries,
dahil construction, no?
Construction company.
And then employment. Are there skilled labor there? Carpenters, reconstruction, and so on.
Well, fortunately, TESDA now has a program geared towards that.
Sa Marawi mismo?
Yes, in Marawi.
That's good, that's good. And then, of course, cell phone repair. Sigurado yan.
Carpentry, masonry, auto repair. TESDA will be providing.
Good, good. So everything seems to be being put in place, and that is very hopeful. And all indications is that the fight against militancy is going to go well.
Yes.
Okay.
We hope. We hope.
With you there and your Muslim leaders.
Maranao Leaders Forum.
Maranao Leaders Forum. The situation seems to be in good hands, no? So on this point, can you just restate your conviction whether it will be less militancy or more militancy?
Well, I do believe all the people that are working now towards the rehabilitation and reconstruction of Marawi are all sincere people. They will do, because that is the only place we can call our place. We cannot do something that is not called for. So I do believe that if we succeed in the reconstruction and rehabilitation of Marawi, there will be less militancy.
Okay, and give me the first crack at becoming a tourist in Marawi when it's ready. Okay.
I will be your tourist guide.
Okay, maraming salamat. So wait for our last segment. The very earth-shaking developments in Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, the Middle East in general. Okay, stand by.